Oh, hey there. If you're anything like me, you probably get all of your history lessons and all of your literature lessons from Iron Maiden songs, and then, once again, fact check none of them. So, probably people my age that listen to this certain demographic of music know the song, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. It's based on a book, okay, by Iron Maiden. It's about a 13-minute long song. It's very long. It's a great song. I love it, okay? Let me just tell you kind of the gist of the story because I think it's interesting. I never read the book, just full disclosure. But the gist of the story is that this mariner, the sea captain, is on a voyage, and somehow there's an albatross, and he kills it. This is a bad omen. This is a bad thing to do. You shouldn't do this. And his shipmates could have accused him and convicted him and separated themselves from his sin, if you will. However, they allowed it, at which point they became part of the crime, according to the story, okay? And because of this, the albatross brings his vengeance, okay? It's hung around his neck, and they're out in the middle of the ocean, and there is no wind. It says, water, water everywhere, and all the boards did shrink. Water, water everywhere, but not a drop to drink. As idle as a painted ship upon a painted ocean. You're like, oh, yikes. And then one by one, all the shipmates died. They all were dehydrated or starved to death or what have you, okay? And finally, life and death roll the dice for the crew, and life lands on the mariner. And life is like, that one is mine. And so the mariner is there, I think, down to the last person. Everybody else has died. And he repents. He is sorry for what he has done. He hangs his head and he repents for what he's done. He sees the consequences of his actions. And it says, and by the light of the moon, he gave thanks to God for all the sea creatures. He repented of what he did. And he was like, I will not do this anymore. And I'm sorry. Please forgive me. At which point, the rain comes. And the rain comes, and that refreshes him because now he has fresh water instead of salt water. And before long, another ship comes and takes him to harbor, and he gets back to his home in safety. But he is bound for the rest of his life to tell his story wherever he goes so that people will understand how important it is to be grateful to God, to respect his creation, and to respect him. And the reason I'm telling you this story is because I feel sometimes like I'm that mariner. I have clearly made horrible mistakes with horrible results, until the point where I finally repented and I was like, I've done wrong and I'm sorry and I want to make it right. And God was like, now I can work with you. Now that you finally realize that you're a mess, I can do something with you. And he cleaned me off, and he took me back home, and he gave me a solid place to stand. And he goes, now I'm going to put you in a place where you can tell this story to other people so that they can learn from your mistakes without having to be as dumb as you are. And so I am bound for the rest of my life to tell my story of how I was a fool and I had turned my back on God, and then where it led me, and how repentance is the answer. So I could be wrong on some of the facts as far as the Ancient Mariner, but I'm not wrong about the facts about me. So love you guys.